It is a windy, it is a rainy, and it is a cold Thursday morning in my neck of the woods. What is it like in your neck of the woods? Good morning. This is Mervyn Hanley with THG News Today. Of course, THG News Today for today, Thursday, the 25th day of January 2024. But nevertheless, no matter what the weather is like on the outside, we give thanks that we are alive and well. The news, of course, is brought to you with the kind of compliments of Carl & Sons on St. Maarten. So let us hear from our sponsor, and we will be right back with news from St. Maarten, news from the BVI Miami, and we'll tell you about a new regional sea transportation service that will transform the transportation and tourism industry throughout the Caribbean. We'll be right back.
Carl & Sons have been serving the people of St. Maarten for over 40 years. And the food and service get better and better. From early morning, customers flock to the bakery for their favorite sandwiches, cakes, pastries, you name it. First thing at mornings and last thing at afternoons, folks rush to Carl & Sons for simply the best. There are two locations, Coal Bay and on the Pontville. In Coal Bay, the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Opening hours on the Pontville, Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We also cater for weddings, parties, special events, whatever the occasion. It's Carl & Sons. Our staff, we are always happy to serve you. Call us today, the Coal Bay location, 721-544-2462. That's 721-544-2462. Or in Phillipsburg, 721-543-1059. That's 721-543-1059. It's Carl & Sons Bakery. We are here to serve you.
We begin this morning with news out of St. Maarten. The Joint Court of Justice has increased the prison sentence and election ban of former Member of Parliament Frans Richardson, who was convicted for bribery and abuse of position in the so-called Aquamarine case. What's up with St. Maarten and these politicians, some of these politicians? It is always some scandal on corruption. I can guarantee you, life happens to any one of us, but I can bet you that we'll hear about another politician who was either arrested or charged, and it's always about bribery and corruption. What is it, St. Maarten? Seriously, what is it? Let me continue. The case pertains to the construction of the Bureau Telecommunication and Post Building and its maintenance contract. Richardson has now been sentenced to 19 months in prison. So he appealed, went to court, and they said, you know what, we're going to give you a stiffer sentence. Yes. The judges gave Richardson 20 months behind bars, but took a month off because the case had been delayed in coming to court. The High Court judges also imposed a 5-year ban on his right to be elected to office. The Joint Court also confirmed the lower court's ruling in the disposition case, which obliged Richardson to pay almost 193,000 guilders in ill-gotten wealth. In November of 2021, the lower court had sentenced Richardson to 12 months in prison and gave him a 3-year electoral ban. In the appeals trial late last year, the Solicitor General had demanded 17 months in prison and a 41-month electoral ban. Richardson has always denied any involvement in bribery and abuse of position. He has one more appeal remaining, which is to the Dutch Supreme Court. So he's exhausting all options. And by the time he's done, he'll probably have, let us hear from the Dutch Supreme Court before I say that. Okay? And now news from the BVI Miami. And of course, we continue to follow the developments of the former premier of the BVI, Andrew A. Foy. He stands trial next week. And so we have some pre-trial motions before the court at this time. So I will tell you that, as we have promised here at THG Network, we will keep you in the loop when it comes to the trial of the former premier of the BVI, Andrew A. Foy. So here is the latest. Theresa Van Vliet, the attorney representing former Premier Andrew A. Foy, has contended that the court should not hear evidence about WhatsApp chats extracted from Foy's cell phone when his trial gets underway. Van Vliet filed another pretrial motion before the court, arguing that much of the content extracted from Foy's phone, which the prosecution intends to present at his trial, is either irrelevant, excessively prejudicial, or both. As such, the attorney says some evidence should be deemed inadmissible or limited in its use at trial. Foy is charged with several counts of drug smuggling, money laundering, and racketeering before a Miami court, and is facing possible life imprisonment if convicted. Among other things, the defense attorney argued that some of the evidence is very personal, including messages between Foy and his banker and a contractor concerning details about a house he was constructing when he was arrested in April 2022. According to the attorney's motion, introduction into evidence and consequently into the public record of Mr. Foy's phone itself and a full extraction of everything on it is unnecessary, burdens the record with an enormous amount of data that is wholly irrelevant to this case, and is replete with personal information to include matters relating to the health treatment of Mr. Foy's family members. She further objected on the basis that some of the communications made by Foy were done in the official course of his duties as Premier of the Virgin Islands, which she contended are completely unrelated to his case. According to the attorney, some of the evidence prosecutors intend to present also contains telephone numbers of individuals or entities completely unrelated to the trial and should therefore be excluded from evidence, like Mervyn Hanley's broadcast THG network every morning, or whatever conversations with former Premier I would have had, right? So Foy's trial was recently reset to begin next Monday, January 29th, but may now be pushed back even further with the filing of his attorney's latest motion. The former premier remains confined in the meantime to his daughter's home in Miami, Florida, as part of his $1 million bond conditions until that time. So we will continue to follow this case, the trial of Andrew A. Foy, and we may have another delay, the sixth one, delayed but not denied. So we shall see. And finally, in our news presentation this morning, a private sector-led regional ferry service was launched on Tuesday, aimed at increasing and improving transportation among Caribbean countries. The focus routes for the project are Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Dominica, Suriname, and Barbados. Connect Caribe said its services will be a game changer in the transportation industry. The three vessels will have the capacity to transport passengers, cargo, and manufactured goods and produce. Those will come separate, right? In these modern times, you're not going to put produce with passengers, right? Or cargo, meaning, well, let's continue. Upturn Funds Caribbean, in collaboration with Pleon Group Incorporated, unveiled the joint venture partnership, which it said has led to the establishment of the new private sector-led ferry company. Its mission is to provide the region with world-class transportation and logistics solution aimed at revolutionizing maritime transportation in the Caribbean. Upturn Funds Caribbean is a venture capital and advisory firm based in Barbados with headquarters in New York, while the Pleon Group Incorporated is a Caribbean and US-based company with offices in the USA, Barbados, Guyana, Trinidad, and Jamaica. This is something serious here. Speaking at the regional launch, Dr. Andre Thomas, the co-founder and chief executive officer for the Caribbean region, said the consortium has brought together a variety of experts from different fields. We actually realized that the key was finding the success equation that will make this project happen, and make this project bankable, and make this project profitable, and add value to the men and women of the Caribbean, add value to investors, add value to shareholders. This first phase of the estimated US $50 million project is projected to come on stream during the last quarter of 2024 and will later be expanded to new island routes in the Caribbean Sea. Very good. Very good. And that is our news for this morning, Thursday. Do join us again. One more day to go of the business week. Do join us again tomorrow morning, Friday, for a similar presentation. I am Mervyn Hanley, and I am wishing all of you a blessed day.